row of the grid. But heading up the third row, this rider here, BAGAI AYATULLAH, so close yet so far in Buriram, particularly in race 2. Because he started at Sepang last year, don't forget. So keep an eye on him, P9 and P6 of Buriram. This is your grid then for race 1 of the Idemitsu Asian Cup here. From Japan as well, but Teman from India. So keep an eye on Teman. It was his personal best on the grid previously back in Buriram. All the way down the field until we get to Bumpaway, not Propong, Bumpaway. Afternoon, the Asian Talent Cup round 2 fires into life, and it's a brilliant start from pole from your number 16 of Ryota on all of the field as they charge down to this hard-braking zone at turn 1. It's Ogiwara from Ikegami, and I make that the number 21, and we're seeing it here in the sail. Everyone's safety through the opening sector.
I was keeping an eye on the number 13, and he's
P10 to P5, Chip Wirrellchat, the number 24. We also said keep an eye on him, so if Chip Wirrellchat could qualify maybe on the front row, he might have got an hole shot. This is down into that awkward turn 6, and that is why it's awkward. He's only a little lad, is Haruki Matsuyama, but we're back with the leaders. It is Ogiwara from the Ikegami number 14, and then it is Ayatullah. The grid 4th right now, but there is a gap forming, and it's your front 3 from Buriram who are doing it all again. On to lap 2 of 12. Bit of slipstream, I think, is now Ikegami ahead of Ogiwara. BAGAI AYATULLAH watching on in 3rd, and that's a disaster for Nelson Cairoli, 7th in the championship.
Feel early doors. We did say Ikegami needed to disrupt the rhythm of Ogiwara if he's going to have a chance of trying to take the fight to Ogiwara. Such was the advantage, and that is exactly what the number 14 has done so far, and fair play to Ayatullah. He's clinging on as well. A great launch from the 3rd row of the grid, now P3.
They're doing a donkey work, all for it to be gone to P2 by Ogiwara, who nabbed him on the final lap. He knows what's...
Both of them full of confidence, as Ayatullah really clings on to the back of there. They really closed up through that fast right-hand kick over them. They're so close here towards the end of lap 2 as Ayatullah takes a good long look behind him. You've got about a 2.8 second gap, pretty much 3 seconds, as Ayatullah just keeps it on the straight and narrow at the end of lap 2.
Yeah, Ayatullah probably looking behind him and thinking, I don't believe it. A clear view looking over my shoulder in the Asian Talent Cup. Am I in the right championship or what? He's pulling out. He's got a big 2-bike slipstream and he's used it to his advantage. He's going to just get ahead of Ogiwara and just get ahead of Ikegami. So for the 3rd lap, we have a 3rd different leader, dueling Japanese behind him, but I'm not quite sure he's going to have it that easy because they're already trying to snap right back at him.
Yeah, rightly so as well. Ayatullah then a great move. That's a tip down the front straight, pull out of it, and then grab the lead into turn 1. Now what is the sort of pace at the front going to be? Ogiwara, this is what he didn't want.
See Cairoli up and walking away. Long look over the shoulder from Ogiwara. He probably can't believe it either that he's got a big gap, big 3.2 seconds to the front straight. But I'm just wondering there, a little bit of strategy coming into it.
Absolutely, tactics are plenty there then. Ayatullah did not want to lead onto that front straight, but he's cost him a little bit of time. He's getting a decent amount of slipstream there. Is Ogiwara going to hang it around the outside? Of course he is. Coming into turn 2. That's an aggressive move, but a clean one into the lead goes from them in this race. But by running wide, he's cost himself time down the straight and he's losing time on this lap as well. So we'll be intrigued to see what the thinking was there for Ayatullah. Incidentally, on this lap, he's lost half a second. You can see there from your TV screens as well. He's lost half a second on this lap, and that seems to be growing. But what isn't growing is the gap between Ayatullah.
The last time around, it's 2.3 at the moment. So if they carry on reeling them in, don't forget the line has been moved. This was the first time we saw it here last year. They're going to cross it there. There it is. So Ogiwara with the fastest lap, but
in by over a 1/10 of a second. But Ayatullah on this lap time, I think he's just stabled the gap slightly. So maybe just a couple of mistakes on that previous lap cost him time. He looks pretty comfortable in doing so as well. Ikegami and Ogiwara, to be fair to them, both look pretty comfortable. Doesn't look like they're on the ragged edge at all, as we just see Ayatullah in race for the rider in 3rd place. We'll get him over line and see what happens.
Let's see how that number 13 is. It's side by side at the moment between your 2 leaders, your 2 rivals, Ikegami and Ogiwara. The gap between
pace here in this race, and as you can see from your TV screens then, Ikegami still doing away from Ogiwara, but Ayatullah has recovered that gap that he lost a couple of laps ago. It was over a second as you were a couple of laps ago, so this is great stuff from the 13 to reel back in the 2 Japanese riders.
Yeah, he's right back on him. This is up through turn 10. We're going to go through the long half race distance. This is up through turn 12, and I tell you what, Elliot, that's getting close. That's Fleming on Hidaka in catching your leaders. I just wonder, we saw this in Buriram, Ikegami and Ogiwara sandbagging a little bit, be very on apt here in Concertina up over in Thailand, and in the last couple of laps it did spread back out, so they'll have to be careful though. Then it was only a couple of riders, now it's going to be a 5-rider group as we see.
Battle at the front, here we go. It's looking like a 5-rider fight on this lap. I do dare say this is fantastic stuff in the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup, but it is Ogiwara still leading the way from Ikegami. Has closed the gap, and now with 5.5 laps to go, is Ogiwara pulling the pin. You can see from the TV screens that
up a little bit too much here. At the moment it's your top 5 covered by less than a second and a half, so there is still 6 to go, and this is building up very, very nicely here as the sun sets and the stars are about to come out. We've got battle there. Try and go with Ogiwara and Ikegami. Let's see what the lap times were. It was 2:12.6 last time out. Yeah, AYATULLAH in 3rd place. Ikegami just holding on down in towards turn 1. Ogiwara sitting tight.
The front were Ikegami and Ogiwara, and now it seems like they've pulled the pin. AYATULLAH is going to struggle potentially to go with them. He lost a full second Ogiwara on that last lap as Ogiwara again looks behind, and then so does AYATULLAH. So they're not full focus on the front, Ogiwara and Ikegami.
Even if they swap positions, it's still 1st and 2nd for them. They're obviously battling each other side of the tyre. I tell you what, AYATULLAH is honing into view in the background. This is not done yet, folks. Do not go anywhere. I think we're going to be in for a grandstand.
Just as we sometimes think that he's potentially out of the victory fight, he reels himself back in on the number 13. A great lap. The only rider in the 2:10s that time around was the number 13 of AYATULLAH. He is not done yet.
Front, we're coming, we've just gone through 2/3 race distance. If there was to be a red flag now, this would be Nopapong Bumperaway is still making progress. He's now up into the top 7. He's cleared Chip Wirral-Chat, so the 2 ties battling over 7. A head-to-head here in race 1 at Lusail. It was a head-to-head in race 1 at Buriram, and then it was all a bit chaotic on the second race there with Haruki Matsuyama. Fastest lap of the race, and into the 209s we go as Ryota Ogiwara.
Tell you what, that was aggressive, but firm and fair from Ogiwara. Did not want Ikegami leading the way for us ahead of AYATULLAH. This is now where the race will be decided. A bit of a rehearsal down at the final corner. Ikegami goes for it. He's going to potentially lead on to the
top 5. Being what position, I'm not so sure. That's AYATULLAH we're talking about, out a shot in 3rd. He was in this lead group up until a couple of laps to go. And a few points away from Ogiwara in the championship, but it would still be the 16 who leads the way as the new.
Yeah, you're not wrong. How many times we've seen this? A fantastic battle for the race win, and you do feel for Ikegami this is crucial to try and get one up on Ogiwara, who beat him by less than 1/10 of a second in both races. These riders really want that victory.
And look at Hidaka all over AYATULLAH. 21 of Hidaka versus the 13 of AYATULLAH. He's going to go under him, he's going to go over him, he's going to go through him if he carries on like this. So it looks like AYATULLAH's pain.
Get a great run out of here, and this is the final corner for the penultimate time. Ogiwara cleverly thinks better of it. Didn't want to make a move. He wants the slipstream heading on to the final lap.
And he also didn't show his hand, so keep an eye on Ogiwara if push comes to shove at turn 16 then. Last lap time in the Idemitsu Asia, but he can't leave it too late.
Thought about it at turn 2, but it doesn't come. Ikegami nice and defensive. Got a good run out of turn 1. Did the number 4.
Please, whatever you do, this is down to turn 6. And very smart riding indeed from Ikegami. Holds position in the battle for 3rd. AYATULLAH still has it at Hidaka, but all eyes on Ikegami and Ogiwara. Will it be turn 10 perhaps for Ogiwara? Does he want to do it? Wait, Ikegami will not be too pleased about that, but Ryota Ogiwara is taking it again, and it is a 3rd win in succession for the number 16, who just holds on ahead of Ikegami with a little bit of